I think we always like going to Metroplex just because it is a different environment, it's a different setting. You'll have a podium, which is something that we don't do every weekend, but you will see it going into postseason. And on top of that, you have different things going on at the same time. Everyone's doing their gymnastics at once, and so there are different things going on. It's just a different setting, and so I think that doing this meet this past Saturday was a great experience for, especially for the freshmen who haven't done this before, going into postseason.
For you guys, I guess it happens often in the sport when you get individual titles, but the team may not come out on top. I mean, how do you kind of juggle personal satisfaction and the team not being number one?
Personal accomplishments are great, but the main goal is to help your team out. And if an individual accomplishment comes from that, then that means I did my job.
You guys still scored pretty well on the podium, though, right? I mean, that's got to be encouraging going forward when you know you'll be back on a podium soon, right?
Yeah, definitely. And we know that we can do better. We know that we can grow from this. We know that there are things that we can take away from this meet and just look forward to the future.
Did you think Myia had a 10 on the floor?
Yes, most definitely. We kept rewatching it, and we're just like, I don't know what they took off.
What is it like watching her? You know, you had Bugs last year, and maybe McKenna was supposed to be in that spot this year to anchor the floor. What's it like having her anchor floor this year?
I'm so proud of Myia. I think she's definitely grown as a person and grown in her gymnastics, and just watching her in that anchor spot on floor, knowing that she can deliver for our team, it's really comforting.
Where are you guys with your routines at this point? I saw some people are commenting on social media. It's like they're not getting good scores from the judges. They're sticking their landings, but maybe some of the routines are 9.95s instead of 10s start values. Y'all have more of those right now? You think as the season goes on, you'll get more 10 routines in the lineup?
I think the only event that doesn't have a 10.0 start value from each of our teams is vault, because a full twisting Yurchenko is a 9.95 start value, and a 1.5 twisting Yurchenko is a 10.0 start value. So going into postseason, we might put some more 10.0 start values on vault, but for the other events, we always talk about how we can't control the outcome. We can't control what the judges put as a score, but we can control what they see and what we do with our gymnastics. So.
Can you talk about the team's nutritionist, Rebecca Moore, and just how vital she is to your success?
Yeah, Rebecca's awesome. She's new this year, but getting to know her and learning just teaching us about fuel and nutrition and what we need to do to prepare for these meets is awesome. We'll have team meetings every Monday, and she'll come in and talk and be like, okay, we're going to talk about hydration this week, or we're going to talk about protein or something like that. But she'll just give us really good information and little good pieces of advice just to say, okay, make sure you do fuel up, because you do need the energy to continue in this meet and to perform to your best of your ability.
Going from somewhere like the PMAC, when it was Alabama, the standing room only, like the biggest crowd ever, and you go to these neutral sites or maybe even on the road, do you guys find yourself needing to find that extra juice? Like, is there something you guys have to do on the road, or is it, how's that, I guess, going from home to somewhere where it's not as, I guess, lively?
It is different, and we talked about this going into last weekend, that not everyone in that arena is going to be cheering for us, because it is a neutral site and there are 3 other teams there, as opposed to being in the PMAC and literally everyone in the stands is cheering for you. But no, we know that we're going to get that postseason, and so we always focus on, we're the ones that need to bring in the energy, we're the ones that need to bring the enthusiasm, and ultimately the crowd will feed off of us if we do that. So.
I know y'all love competing at home, but is it a little harder to get up for Kentucky rather than Alabama or Florida?
I don't think so, because each weekend Jay always makes a comment that you're competing against everyone in the nation, regardless if you're at home, regardless if you're away. So we always keep that in the back of our mind. It doesn't matter who's in the same room as you on the floor. What you need to do is do your job and to just go forward and try to make the improvements as we go along.
Back to the floor, how important is it to have maybe 2 lineups even deep on floor? Because like we saw at Alabama with Juliana, how important is that to have so many people consistent on floor?
It's really important, and that's another thing that we talk about all the time is just being able to have that depth, not even on floor, just on any event, just because if someone does go down, we need to make sure we have the best person possible up filling in that spot. And I was so proud of Jules the other weekend. She definitely delivered for us, and that's not an easy situation to be in. And I think the alternate spot and those places that are the fill-in spots, they're very much looked over, and I don't think people really realize how big of a role that it does play, because you're continually pushing your teammates, you're continually making our team better as a whole, and so that's just something in the background that not very many people understand, but it is a team sport, and so we want the contribution from everyone. And so I was just really proud that Jules was able to go up that night and just bring it home for us.
With the subjectivity of the scoring, and I know y'all have all been gymnasts your entire lives, but how do you reconcile that in your head when you think, wow, this should be a 10, and you have to like sit there and be like, I wonder what they took off? Like, how do you reconcile that?
We'll go back and watch film. We'll go back and see like if there was some little nitpicky thing that we didn't see in the moment. But that's just part of taking it one step at a time and just trying to make improvements each week. Like I said, we can't control the scores, but we can control what we do out on the floor. And so just going from that, our goal is to just do the best that we can out there and bring it home.
If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.